Hi Leo, sorry we got interrupted, but I had to go eat dinner and yeah. So we're back and we just went through this card and basically this is saying that you're going to feel some sort of relief. You know, you haven't really felt as if something in your life has been like it should, especially around nurturing yourself. The next card you got is Rune Keen, Wise One, Counselor. So this is just saying that you really need to open up like we talked about in the first card. Someone that you can trust. You're not becoming a problem for someone. You're not really being selfish or doing a pity party. You're really just needing to get out whatever you need to get out. This is also saying if you refuse to talk to someone close to you, bet you that spirit will start talking to you until you talk to them. So you're going to get signs and symbols, and that is really going to help you feel as if your life isn't constantly in shambles and your life isn't always uprooted to please others. You know, you can have a say no, and should not feel guilty about it in the month of April, Leo. The next card that's in reverse, we have Love, Fire, Sensuality, Fertility. So this is just saying that you necessarily don't have to have anything new in your life. You don't have to feel as if everything is transformed and everything's perfect. You just want to feel as if what you have is being able to be enjoyed by you without outside distractions, without all these other priorities that you do just because you have to. And so you really need to kind of let go of being everyone's savior and really just be the receiver for once. You've been the giver for far too long, Leo, and it's time in April that you see that you can still have a piece of this receiver while still being the giver. It doesn't have to be a perfect balance, but you might want to consider being the receiver more than the giver. And it doesn't mean that you're taking advantage. It doesn't mean that you're being selfish. You really need this for your recuperation, your recovery in this month, especially because you've had a hard first couple months, as we all have, but you especially, Leo. The next card that's in reverse is Nobility, Grace, and Gratitude. So this is saying that, you know, you don't have to feel necessarily grateful for everything that's happened in order to feel like you're a good person. You know, you can definitely use this month to grieve. You can use this month to release things that are on your mind. Again, it's important that you don't feel like you have to be okay all the time and you have to be the most positive person. You can still get blessings and anointing by being realistic with yourself and being raw with yourself and understanding that you can't do it all and everything comes to an end. And right now, April is the ending for you with overexerting yourself emotionally. The card that is next, that is in the recent past, is Glamour and Opulence and Hubris. Can't even say it. Hubris. But I'm just gonna channel this card because, again, I'm seeing the angel number 20 as it depicts in this card. But I'm also seeing the angel number 23 and 3. So that's something to look forward to, and especially to Google if you're into angel numbers and you want more messages. But this is just saying that you don't have to necessarily... Things don't get past you. And especially in this month, you're seeing through what I consider almost to be a veil of... It's like a veil, and I'm getting a cold chill, but it's like a veil like we have in Samhain and we have around October. But it's more about kind of rediscovering ourself on a more intimate, secluded level. And you're fine with that. You've always been fine with that. But you're starting to see how it's affecting people and how hard it is for other people. And you know the duration. You know what you kind of know intuitively what it's going to come and how it's going to change and who's going to get what out of what. You understand what people it's going to affect and who's not going to be affected. People can't get past you necessarily. And so you're even more supercharged with your intuition right now because you're using this as a advantage and not so much a disadvantage like everyone is creating it to be, which it is a disadvantage in many ways, but it's not completely. And you see the both sides of that. And that's why the veil is not really affecting you. That is what Spirit's telling me, which is very cool because a lot of people don't have that ability, Leo, and April will be something good for you. It might be here and there, like 3 days out of the month where you feel like everything's gonna be supercharged and, you're gonna feel in touch and you're gonna get these little, messages from Spirit and you're gonna feel anointed. But you know that there has to be, a balance. And so even the days that are not the best, you're going to take a deep breath and you're going to really try to make something out of it with your own mind. So your perspective is very shifty. It's a shapeshifter. It's something that can really help you on discovering higher dimensions of vibration. And a lot of people won't tap into that, but you're lucky in April you will. The recent past, recovery, comeback, revival. So, you have been through a lot, Leo, and whether it's been physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually, you know that you have done a lot of dedicated work and you're reaping some of the rewards, but you're still waiting on a lot of it. But in the recent past, you kind of have felt that even though you've been through all these stages, you might have to go through it again. And you're fine with that because it will reap more rewards. But I do again feel that you need to be more mindful of your needs and to understand that if you were not able to rescue your family or someone you love or whatever it might be, I feel like this has to do financially, maybe even a little bit emotionally. They would have to conjure up, maybe that's not the right terminology or the right words, but they would have to do it. They would have to just suck it up and do it. And you need to witness that for yourself because if you don't, you are not going to feel that nurturing that Spirit has so desperately wanted you to feel, but you've been getting in your own way. You've been stubborn. You haven't allowed people to help. So this is the card that is really going forward. It's not just in the recent past. It's present and a little bit of the future as well. It's almost like a life lesson. And Leo, in April, you're really going to have to just grab a hold of that and really see what it's worth because it's got more value than you realize. And once you kind of open yourself up to allowing something to take that role that you have desperately clenched onto in order to feel strong, in order to feel like you have a place in the world, in order for you to feel as if you can disregard or go around the pity party or even being weak. You have never been weak, and when you step away, you're not going to be weak. It's actually going to be stronger energies, because you're going to be receiving everything that's been kind of put on a pause because you stopped it. So April, you have to let go. It's a very sad, grieving energy, but it has a lot to offer you. And again, it's not all tears and struggle. There is going to be a lot of energies that is going to complement you and is really going to help you create new change in your life, and everything will be more easier for you to make a choice without second guessing yourself, because you're going to know what loss is, you're going to know what gain is, you're going to know all these energies. You've known them for some time, but now you get to decide what you feel, and you get to also take a step back and allow spirit to take it for you, and allow other people around you to allow them to see the repercussions of just you being there, and the repercussions of them not doing what you have always done. They need to learn that for themselves. You need to let go as much as you can. It's going to be very hard for you, I know, but you need to find love, and you need to be comforted like you haven't been for some time. The recent past, you have establishment, growth, and fulfillment. So again, you've always been that safe haven, but you need to allow the safe haven to not just be within you. It needs to be created with around you as well. It can still live within you, but you can retrieve that for yourself and not necessarily for everyone around you, in order for you to be an actual safe haven. You can do that for yourself, and you can allow other people to meet you in the middle, and that can be the growth that you're looking for. You've always helped other people and helped yourself, but now it's time to let go. It's almost like to allow the circle of life to start, because you've always been in this leader position. You've always been in this caretaker position, and it's really time for you to let go of that, and you are always going to be a caregiver at heart. You're always going to be the most valuable person in someone's life, but you can still be that and still receive that without it taking away the gratitude and also, the effect that, or it's kind of an energy that's kind of hard to explain, but it's a feeling, feeling as if you haven't dishonored or even rejected that role within you. Just because it's not as active doesn't mean that it's still not coming out in different ways, but not as strongly. Maybe it'll come out stronger once you let go. You just never know, and it can meet you in the middle, and you can, it's time for you to get back what you've given. So it's like a mirror effect is what I'm seeing. The last two cards, this one is in the recent future, silent, observant, wildly. So this is saying that, you've always been the observer, but you've always voiced your opinion. And even when you haven't, you're like, yeah, my intuition was right. Or, you have always been curious. You've always felt energies. And in April, you're going to start seeing that this kind of energy needs exactly that, needs you to stand back and to observe and to absorb only what is not harmful for you. So only positivity. If there's negative that needs to be, looked at, you can do that. You can go through it, release it if it's emotional, whatever it might be. But again, you're not going to stay stuck. And in April, Leo, you're going to feel more, it's more of a crone energy. It's a very illuminating, mystical, very well-earned position. But again, it's something that it's like almost what Spirit's showing me. It's kind of like the high priestess or the Hierophant kind of energy, but it's a female, and female energies they're probably, it could be a male too, but I just feel like there's this where they are expecting greatness, they're expecting return, and they're grateful. They're not self-centered, but they're sitting on their throne and they know they've built this and they can enjoy it now. So it's a very humbling energy, but it's a deserving energy. And you need to, as much as it is hard to let go, and I keep saying this, Leo, you need to invite being the receiver, as much as how hard that is. Okay? Deceit, betrayal, guile, the trickster, recent, future. So this is saying that don't worry about manipulation. Don't worry about people tricking you. You already know the hand they're playing. This is saying that don't deceive yourself. Don't betray yourself by rejecting receiving. You know, you're also giving once you allow things to be received through you, because you're giving in a way a part of yourself that might be too vulnerable to accept. And in return, that's giving Spirit the okay for more blessings and help and support. But it's also showing people that you are even more, what's the word I'm looking for? You're even more approachable than what you were, but not in a way that you can be taken advantage of. It's a very, oh, that person has needs too, and I can step back a little bit, and maybe I need to give them something that they've always given me. It's a very awakening energy for you, Leo, in April. But I'm going to pull some more cards. I'm seeing black onyx as a stone for you to wear or to have around you. Again, this is just a energy that I feel is really supposed to ground you and really keep you on focus when it comes to being a receiver, and to understand that you're blocking the negativity out of it. You're blocking what Spirit's saying, like, you're no longer like a overworked. You're not overworked. You're not allowing it, because I feel like it's really taken a toll on your Spirit showing me your back, and also in your, for whatever reason, your arms, your upper arms. I'm just taking a few breaths because I feel like we need it right now. I've noticed the last few days we forget to breathe, especially I do. You know, full breath. So just seeing what animal guide is going to be around you guys this month in April, and any other messages that they have. Okay, so we have Otter. This is in the recent past. So again, you're trying to enjoy it. You're really trying to enjoy what is. You know, you're someone that is trying to stay present. And even when you start feeling emotionally vulnerable, you always make yourself busy, or you make yourself able to ground yourself in some form or another, whether it be working, whether it be taking a bath, whether it be eating a good meal or getting enough rest. You are very careful when it comes to that kind of self-care, being present. But again, you're kind of avoiding the purging of the emotions or needing to be assisted in some way without feeling guilt or remorse about it. And then you have in the recent future, the beaver. So this is a cute card. It reminds me of building. You know, you've built a lot. You're still going to be building things, even if you are enjoying what you've built. You are building a connection to yourself and your environment. It's going to help get to know you, you know. And for an example, I wasn't very familiar when moving in this home, and I had all the excuses in the book why I shouldn't bond with it, and after I bonded with it and I got to know what it was built here, it really started to enhance my path and my life, and it bestowed blessings upon me because I was blessing it by no longer berating myself or it for what it was. So the beaver is here to tell you in the recent future, Leo, in April, is that in April, you're really going to start feeling as if you can actually enjoy what you've built and enjoy your home. And even if you are away from home, you are going to feel more in touch with what you're feeling, regardless of what's going on in the present. Because, again, you're not going to be brushing it off. You're going to really sit with it and get to know it so that you can build more off of it rather than pushing it under and allowing it to accumulate dust in the basement. You're really going to bring it to light. And then the last one it's not reverse, it's in the near future, is the oyster. And so to me, this is saying that you can protect yourself, stay isolated as much as you can and you're allowed to. But that pearl is still within you, and it's still within this month. You will still get a breakthrough, even if it's a tiny solution or an answer or a feeling or just a knowing. You're going to feel as if you can breathe for once throughout this whole year, because this year's been very heavy energies like we discussed earlier. And so, Leo, it's time for you to kind of understand your effect on people, but understanding what more receiving you can have just by being open and being aware of your true needs without any, again, shame or guilt, and understanding you can relinquish anything in your life or let go of anything in your life that is causing havoc or might be causing a little strain and stress on your life. And things will, I'm telling you, without a doubt, it's happened recently to me. As hard as it is, you let go, you have faith, things will rebuild themselves around you, like the energies, the home, the finances, the health. All of that can be rebuilt with your trust and your releasing. Understanding you're not vulnerable, you're not weak, you're just open. And sometimes that vulnerability allows doors to open that you are trying to desperately open for yourself. I do hope that this makes sense. I'm hoping you have a great month. Stay safe. Leave comments, questions down below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And I will talk to you guys soon.